Bruh, you just stood up, bro. You just stayed. Bruh. Jesus. I see my phone shaking a little bit. Class is now in session. Thank y'all for clicking and tuning in. If you click and tuned in, it's probably because you have an interest in the topic. This is from top to bottom, bottom to top, how and why I even got into psychedelics. I don't have the traditional story for taking psychedelics. I'm gonna be ripping this fresh yard throughout. I'm gonna try to go in depth as possible as I can into my usage, why, and everything. Let's start to when I first got interested and when I first tried it. So I was about 16. Let's set it at 16. I was already smoking weed. I had first smoked weed when I was turning 12, like a month before I turned 12. I already had an interest and affinity for smoking anything before I even knew it had an effect. I think it just looked cool to me. I had an appeal to it. It drew me in. My grandpa was a smoker, and watching him smoking would just look cool. I want to do that. I tried some a few times. That shit was disgusting, but I would somehow still go back to it. I was in a toxic relationship with smoking. But that's like the beginning bridge to just drug use. Later on, I'm 15, 16, I'm trying to, cigarettes were disgusting to me at the time. I'm just trying to find drugs to take, really, just have fun. For me, hard drugs like fucking crack, cocaine, heroin was all just off the table. I'm not fucking retarded. I'm not putting needles in me. Nah. Cocaine actually, I did. I was like, I'm not addicted. I don't have to do much. I'll try it. I was just in the mindset of trying it. I have a strong will, strong ego, good morals, principles. I knew I could just try it, and even if I liked it, I knew I could just leave it at that. And even when I tried it, that shit wasn't everything. So I'm still living proof of what I fucking say. So I hear about acid, and you first hear the term acid, it sounds a little intimidating. Like acid, like what? Like the thing that dissolves skin. Not all acids dissolve skin, but in my brain at the time, that's what that was, like battery acid. So my main concern at that time was just as long as substances aren't addictive, I'm not gonna get hooked. Like I'll take it, fuck it. So I started researching shrooms and acid. Acid was more appealing to me, but shrooms was also, cool. Like, it's a mushroom that gets you high. What the fuck? And it's not addicting. What? I get to see shit. So, my perception of psychedelics at the time is, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna see leprechauns and all that. I think that's what everyone's first perception of it is. So, like a normal person should do when they want to take any drugs is, research it. So I look it up. At the time, there wasn't much on YouTube. The only thing that would come up was like psych substance in terms of education and finding out what it is. He was more on the safety thing, but when I Googled it, it mainly came up that, people take it for spiritual reasons and all this and that. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, I completely jaded. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? At the time, I didn't even fucking believe in anything. I was atheist, so I'm like, fuck, what are you talking about? The only thing that I saw and that I drew from it, I fucking retained, was that it's not addictive. You could take like 1 million tabs. You're just gonna have a fucking crazy trip, but you'll be all right. So I'm like, I bet. Fast forward, I find a plug. I got my first acid tab at 16. I'm plotting on when I should take it because at the time I was sharing rooms with my sister. My parents were living, of course, my parents were fucking sustaining us. I think my uncle was living with us at the time, if not my uncle, like fucking other family. So I already had it in my possession. I'm just like, I need to find a window or when I could take it. I think my sister went on a trip for like the weekend. My parents were asleep and I don't remember. I think my uncle was living with us at the time, but he wouldn't always come home. So his shit would, it was just my parents asleep and then me. So it's like 10 p.m. My parents are usually in bed by like midnight. And I'm like, bet, this is my time. I'm excited as fuck. I'm just waiting for my parents to get home from work, unwind, get all the fuck to sleep so they don't fuck with my trip. And I'm like, I bet. So I'm a little nervous. And I'm like, I was excited. So I'm like a little shaky. I'm in the bathroom pretending I'm taking a shit. And I take it. I bet I'm playing like 2K13 at the time. And I set a timer from when I took it. And I'm like, all right, bet, let's see how long it takes to kick in, if it's even real, if it's even gonna kick in. I'm playing 2K and the screen just gets brighter and it just starts morphing. And like, that intro to Marvel movies where like the image is like morphing and like shaking and it's like kind of hazy? That's what I was seeing. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I can't even play this shit no more. So I put it down and I just get in bed and I'm like, whoa, like what's going on? I'm listening to like music and shit. Everything is just like amplified, and that was really the bass effect. That like, I think about an hour or two in, I'm just laying in bed right here, not right here, but like in bed, and I like get like almost out of my body, like the fucking, I'm just laying looking up, and the room just like zooms out, like it just feels like I just fucking zoomed out, like I don't know, like my bed just got tiny, I got tiny, and the room just big as fuck, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? I'm almost like seeing myself in the corner of the room, and I was like observing it, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit, bro? And my thoughts are just going like, huh? Like, almost like a baby just going to a new environment, and they're like, in that, like, I don't know, like not shock, like just wonder, like, whoa, what's everything? And I'm chilling, I'm like giggling to myself because I'm like having a conversation with myself in my head, and it's just funny, and I'm like, what the fuck, like, yo, I'm on this shit. And I'm chilling, I'm just like doing what I can, like I'm really just in my head because I can't really, like everything was too much stimulation. And I remember getting a random ass craving for B-dubs, so I had some leftovers in the fridge at the time. So I go in and I'm like, whoa, like shit just tastes like new. Like I know how it tastes like, but like when I'm tasting it on acid, I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't even have an appetite, but I'm just trying to see what's up, That was really it. The only other thing I did during that trip was fucking goon. I don't know why I was like, I want to see how it is to goon while on acid. It was hard because everything's distracting, like shit's morphing to the side as I'm watching. I'm like, what the fuck? And it took like an hour. Like I was going at it for like an hour. Like I kept like deflating because everything's so distracting. But I was determined. I'm like, no, I'm gonna do this. But when the time came, dude, it felt like rainbows was coming out of me. Like that's all I'm gonna say. It wasn't anything like I was like, oh, I have to do this again. It was actually pretty hard to achieve, but that was it. And I'm just laying in bed. I remember Hotline Bling was popping at the time, and the cover art for the song was 1-800-HOTLINE, and like the pink background, the white letters. I'm listening to the song, and the letters are like jumping to the fucking beat and shit, like just on their own rhythm, and I'm like, what the fuck? And that was pretty much it. I remember just laying in bed, I'm like, all right, I gotta go to sleep now. It's probably like 5 a.m. or something. And I couldn't really go to sleep, but I feel it wearing off kind of, and I'm like, nah, I gotta go to sleep. So I'm just laying in bed, and then it felt like I just blinked, and I woke up. It was like 2 p.m. and I'm like, what the fuck? All right, I feel fine. I'm back to normal basically. And that day, Earl Sweatshirt, I don't know if it was that day or if it was already out. Earl Sweatshirt dropped that one song during the time where he dropped I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Like Going Outside. He has a music video for it where it's animated, and at the end there's like a police attention to a pig. Like, that felt very symbolic to me, and I'm like, I don't know, like, shit just felt symbolic. And then I didn't correlate it with the acid later, like, I just felt like renewed, like, I don't know, fresh. And that was my first experience with it. I think I didn't crave it. I thought it was cool later on. I told my friends about it. That was really it. I don't think I took it again until like a few years later when I'm like 18, 19. Like I said, I still didn't dive into the whole spiritual side of it. That it was just a fun drug to me, like weed and shit. And it wasn't until like 18, 19, I was taking it to kind of cope when my uncle and my grandma passed. So I started upping the dosage. Like, you know, I took a tab and it was fun, it was cool. I started getting into spirituality in the third eye, and I'm like, oh, that's what that is. And like, I'm always using it. It's not activated with drugs. I just have it already. And then it just made me double down on my beliefs and how I was. So, you know, I take 2 tabs and I'm just like, whoa, like, I'm starting to see more and more, and my mind is just expanding, and I don't even know how to do, at the time I didn't know how to describe what was going on. I do know now more, which is why I'm even making this video. But expansive ass thoughts and just the benefits you get from psychedelics, you can look it up. That shit was very real, and I was experiencing it on my own before they even started speculating that shit could be beneficial. So my thing at the time was like, I'm having all these woke ass thoughts, like these fucking epiphany central with that shit, and I couldn't carry them over to when I was sober. So it's like, what the fuck is the point? So now that I look back on it, it's because I was open-minded, but I was also closed-minded because of the, you know, society putting you to sleep, blocking you and shit. But I made it kind of like a mission to like take the acid world into real life, and I was able to put some of my real life into the acid world. That kind of like, you know, the fucking fucked up shit in my head. So I started, you know, cooking. I was smoking with it too to amplify it. I get to like 4 tabs, and I've taken like 5 tabs like 3 times now. And you know, on the higher doses, you get more visual effects. The strongest effects I got was like seeing geometric patterns and just, you know, life. Like, you're watching this video, like, just imagine like hexagons, like completing like hexagons are the pixels of real life, and I'm just seeing everything. Like, what the fuck? Times where I took gel tabs too. I was just bike riding with the homie, and on the bike ride, I just look up at the sky and I see a dome, like the outline of a dome, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like some Simpson shit, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on, bro? And you know, just visually, those were the effects. Mentally, I felt like, you know, I had it all figured out. Like, I know what life is. Like, I know everything. Like what the fuck? Like, you know, everything just makes sense. But when you're coming down and getting back to real life, that's when it starts getting distorted and like discombobulated. I did find smoking with it can give you like a acid flashback, like bring the feeling of acid back, but I do not recommend that shit, because were times where I smoked and I did not want to feel acid high, and yeah, that shit was just not great. It wasn't all with benefits. It did bring out the bipolar in me. I did get hospitalized shortly after taking psychedelics a few times because of sleep deprivation, the state of the world, tragedy, everything, being a teen, everything just fucking destroyed me. Like, I've been crackhead, fent-leaning type of behavior. But I've come back from it, which I'm mad grateful for it. Blessed that I didn't stay stuck. I didn't let it destroy me. There was a time where I was scared to smoke. I was scared to fucking just do anything, even go outside. I had the depersonalization, the ego death, and I'm just like, what the fuck? This shit fucked me up. And I'm just thinking like, it's gonna be permanent. Like, I'm fucked. Over time, I broke out of it, but I also like kept going back into it. I would progress each time when I was having like episodes and psychosis. Like, the psychosis it can give you is insane. Like, I think even people without predisposition to mental health issues can get that shit just off a bad trip and all that. But when I was scared to take it, my ego was like taking over. Like, what the fuck, you're scared of a little piece of paper, you're scared of a little chemical. Like, I was fucking fearing for my life, but still challenging myself. Like, bro, like, get over this shit for real. Like, you're scared of a drug, like, get it together for real. And I don't recommend this either. I took the drug again to get over the fear of the drug. You can't make this up, bro. I don't recommend it, but that's my own, like, just fucking ego, my pride, my spirit, whatever. And I managed to get, rearrange my thinking patterns, which ultimately, before even doctors and shit started advocating all this shit, like, I found that out the hard way, like, myself, through trial and error. And I was slowly able to implement psychedelic effects into my sober life, which I don't completely know how to explain. But you have to be very careful with that shit, because if you use that shit to be bogus and grimy, karma's very real. Like, with those drugs, that shit is just activating it even more. You're under close watch on your moves, just as is without the drugs. But once you take them and see the reality and lift the veil, and you start moving weird, and you don't take the lessons you're supposed to take from it, you will reap what you sow. So it might sound like all sunshine and rainbows. I know there's some person out there that's like, fucking Doofus Friends Evil Incorporated. Head ass. But you'll be your own demise with that shit. So be careful with it. This is just me basically giving you my psychedelic journey that I even fucking think of it. I was just taking it recreationally. I just wanted to see shit. I just wanted to get high. It was a fiend in me. And then it ultimately just fucking turned to me ending up woke as fuck, like, just mentally, like, on a whole nother level, bro. Like, I'm not trying to fucking stroke my shit or toot my horn, but, like, I've never met nobody like me. Plain and simple. Even before the psychedelics. I feel like I was already like this before the psychedelics, and the psychedelics just made me double down on it. I haven't taken that shit in years. I've been recently thinking about it. I'm like, with all the knowledge and the prowess I have right now, how much, not even the question of how much further I can take it, but like, what's the effect it's gonna have on me now? Like, I don't even feel like I need to take it or I want to take it, but that part of me still like, what's gonna happen if I take it now? With all the knowledge I have, the wisdom and the creativity I have, like, I still have that layer of like precaution and worry that like it might put me into an episode, it discombobulates me a little bit and I'll be off for a few days after I take it. So I don't know. And if I do take it, I might make it a thing to record it and just, walk people through it, because I do feel like this shit is mad beneficial. Even if you just want to take it every time I just wanted to take it recreationally, it would put me in that woke state where I'm just having realizations and epiphanies. So like, I can't even help it. Again, this might not be the same result you might have if you live a completely different lifestyle, a different country. I can't guarantee nothing. You just gotta find out. I do have friends that growing up told me that, you know, they just saw shit, they just enjoyed the drug and didn't exactly have the same experiences I did. I don't know how true that is or whatever, but you know, you just gotta find out for yourself if, you know, if you even want to take it. I'm not advocating it, but I had a pull towards it growing up. Well, when I was contemplating it, I remember, I think Psych Substance said this, like, if you don't have like, it's not calling to you, then you probably shouldn't take it. Like, you know, there's no interest in it, that's fine. I feel like I don't know if I'd be the same person I am now without psychedelics. And I'm not giving all the glory to it. Definitely a lot of it was me. And at the beginning, I didn't want to give any credit to psychedelics, but it did definitely help me become who I am today. So I don't know who the fuck I would be without, you know, that whole psychedelic journey. But we're here now. I think that's the video. That's really just my psychedelic story and how it made me woke as fuck. Not the new term of woke, the old term woke where you just see through the bullshit, red pill shit, and not the new red pill shit, the old red pill shit where you just see reality for what it is, not just dating. So some of my terms could be misconstrued. But yeah, that's it. If you tune in, it's just probably like 20 minutes long right now. Haven't made a long form video in a minute, but I just let myself flow. That's really it. Thank y'all for tuning in. That's my story.